where to begin. My daughter gets a standing ovation. Holy mackerel, how can I follow this? Father Sebastian, Bob Steers, members of the board, ladies and gentlemen, all of my nephews and nieces over there, my very, very dear friend Scott Pierce, and his wife Janice. I was surprised and delighted when Tom Sheehy called to tell me that I was going to be the candidate for the 2011 Canterbury Medal. My first reaction was to ask Tom if I had to give a speech. The answer was yes. The next question was, what should I say? Oh, be profound, Dick. Be profound. Tom, you have to be kidding. I've never been profound in my life. I don't walk down the same street as profound. So I'm going to take a brief stroll down memory lane, starting with September 1947 train ride from Grand Central to our quaint little station in New Milford, to a bus ride up the hill with future classmates such as Joe Burns, Peter Igoe, and Walter Crump, and also with a big shot upperclassman who has become one of my closest pals who's here tonight, Peter Carney. Dr. Hume was the headmaster, and a formidable one at that. If you had gone to Central Casting and ordered a head of a boys' boarding school, Dr. Hume would have been it. Square jaw, penetrating eyes under magnificent, bushy eyebrows. If you were walking the campus and crossed the path with the doctor, upon making eye contact, you'd think, uh-oh, what did I do now? He was not only the founder, but also gave us that pantheon of faculty, Mrs. Brody, Lindemann, Koenig, Mack, and good old Joe Maloney, Canterbury Sheriff. Mr. Mal's Saturday night stroll through the dorms always brought the same question. What movie is playing tonight, Mr. Mal? And the same response. Choo-choo round the bend with hot coals and evil cinders. Dr. Hume passed away that summer, 1948, and was replaced by Walter Sheen, scholar, athlete, educator. Mr. Sheen and I had a testy relationship. He discovered early on that during school breaks, I hit the New York joints with the likes of Carey, Lobo, McGrath, and Igoe. My nickname from Mr. Sheen became the Ghost of the Store Club. During senior break, a classmate and I went to Bermuda where I met a comely lass who was a freshman at Mount Holyoke. When asked where I was at school, I quickly answered, sophomore Brown. We had a lovely time. Now, it turned to a few weeks after returning from Bermuda, Mr. Sheen was doing mail call in the North House Common Room. Working his way through the mail, he holds up a postcard and said, "This card is for the brown boy at Canterbury School." Now, who is the brown boy? I crawled under the rug. In spite of my peccadillos, Mr. Sheen succeeded in having me accepted at Princeton, no small feat for which I am forever grateful. Under Mr. Sheen, we had a great faculty with the previously mentioned, plus new additions of John Hebert and Gene Riley, to name two of many. But one holds a very special place for me, the coach, Roger DeRoche. All 6'6" and 300 pounds, former star lineman for Holy Cross and the Pittsburgh Steelers. To me, he was a key in the transformation of boys to men. Roger taught you to play the game full out, get your nose dirty, and never give up. Practices were so tough that game day was like a day off. After 1951 graduation, I lost touch with Canterbury as the swirl of adult life took over. Following Princeton, marriage to the lovely Phyllis, who has tolerated me for 55 years. Do we have another medal for Phyllis?
Give her yours. I'll see what I can do. Actually, she deserves it.
And raised 6 terrific human beings. I can I just can't call them children any longer. Three of whom are here tonight, Richard, Patty, and Michael.
Yes.
Then in 1979, while living in Newport Beach, California, the telephone rang. Rod Clark here would like to stop by for a quick visit. Code for let's get you on the giving list. A memorable meeting that resulted in our youngest Bill attending Canterbury and graduating in 1982. Also important was my reconnect with the school and joining the Board of Trustees. The board has been blessed with unusually talented presidents, John Duffy, Hope Carter, Bill O'Connor, and Bob Steers. I worked primarily with John Duffy, who arguably set the standard for future boards. He not only committed his time and energy, but also gave generously. And he would focus like a laser on potential donors. I'm convinced that in his other life, John was a bounty hunter. Then came our current head of school, Tom Sheehy, and his lovely wife, Betsy. They reinforced that old adage that behind every great woman stands a strong man. Tom has become a friend. We share a love for the game of golf and the adoration of the 20th century's greatest man, Winston S. Churchill. What Tom and the board have achieved during his stewardship is there for all to see. The impressive buildings, state-of-the-art athletic facilities, and a first-rate faculty. I'm particularly partial to J.P. Mandler, a woman who happens to have the same surname, Lou Mandler, Guy Simonelli, and Mark Vanessa. Mark and I worked on the launch of the Pallium. The work that Mark has done to bring it to its current level of excellence should be widely appreciated. And finally, there is Pancho Sanchez Kiefer, Tom's hitman. Tom's effectiveness as a fundraiser is aided significantly by Brian. Memories. One of the strongest is walking down the hill from the gym to the dorms on a crisp fall Sunday afternoon. The Berkshires, off in the distance, are a kaleidoscope of brilliant colors. Mr. Mack is playing the carillon, and the bells are echoing through the campus. It's an emotional experience that I hope Canterbury students, faculty, alumni, and friends can enjoy, not for years, but for generations to come.